Hot take, the Chicago Bulls fucking suck. And I know some of you out there are watching this and you're saying, wait a minute, hot take? They've only won 40% of their games this year. They've only been in the playoffs 2 times in the last 10 years. And in those 2 times, they've only won 3 playoff games. What do you mean, hot take, the Chicago Bulls fucking suck? It is an absolute fact without a shadow of a doubt that the Chicago Bulls suck and have sucked for a long time and will suck for a long time going forward. How can you call that a hot take? And for those people, I would say to you, you are simply not that plugged in with this fan base online. Because if you go on my Twitter page, you look in my mentions. If you go on the YouTube page, you look at the comments. You go on the TikTok page, you look at the comments. You hop in the Discord server and you look at the interactions on there. There are a lot of Chicago Bulls fans out there who tell me I am way too negative about this team, that it's not that bad, that we're not that far away. And I'm not even going to talk shit about those people. I'm not going to call them delusional. I'm not going to say they don't really follow basketball that closely. I'm not even going to tell them that they are too tightly wound up in the Chicago Bulls bubble and they need to go outside and touch grass. I'm not going to do any of that because honestly, I respect the positivity. I respect the resiliency. I mean, this team continues to shit in your mouth day after day and tell you it's tiramisu, and you keep eating it up with a fucking spoon. So if you're that type of person, you're built differently than me. I'm not that resilient, man. You can only serve me shit so many times to try to convince me it's tiramisu before I throw that plate of shit back in your face till you get the fuck out of here. So sorry if I seem a little wound up today, man. I'm just a little tired of the people on that side of the fan base. They do this victim thing where they're like, oh, the pro tankers, they're so mad at me. They don't see why I'm positive about this, blah, blah, blah. They do a lot of whining, and I'm just over the whining, guys. I'm over all of it, because if you guys don't know, I haven't always been this way. I would say for most of my fan lifetime, I was kind of a sunny side up type of basketball fan. You know, I would look for the best in the team, and I would try to be optimistic going forward. I mean, you go back to 3 years ago, the Chicago Bulls slow start. They signed Pat Bev. Somehow they rebound in March. They finished the year strong. They finished with a top 10 defense, which if you go back, you look at that roster, no business being a top 10 defense. And I was buying into it. I was like, all right, we're going to win the play-in tournament. We're going to do some damage in the first round. Let's go. Let's do it. What happened? They got their ass kicked in the play-in tournament. The next year, same thing. Slow start. Zach LaVine, he's hurt. He barely plays. But the Bulls, post-All-Star break, they go on a little bit of a run. You know, DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso, they pick up the slack. Kobe White comes on strong. And I was buying into it. I was like, here we go. This team makes sense. It makes sense. Kobe White is a good number 2 option to DeMar DeRozan. We're going to make some noise. We're going to win the play-in tournament. We're going to make the playoffs. We're going to make noise. What happened? Got our asses kicked in the play-in tournament. Last year, 20-5 run to close out the season. Kobe White, Modest Buzelis, Josh Giddey, they're all playing their ass off. Doubters are telling people, hey guys, this is March basketball. A lot of the teams you're playing, they're not playing their star players. They're resting for the playoffs or they're tanking. You know what? I wasn't buying any of that. You go back, you look at my post a year ago, I was saying, nah, man, 20-5 over a 25 game sample size. That's real. That's tangible. We can build off this. We're going to win the play-in tournament. We're going to make some noise in the playoffs. We're going to see what these young boys can do in the playoffs. What happened? We didn't show up. You go back, you watch that playing game. Go back and actually fucking watch that playing game, because there's some revisionist history on that playing game. People will look at the box score, they'll look at the numbers that Josh Giddey put up, and they're like, it wasn't that bad. No, it was bad, guys. There was not a single second of that game that the Chicago Bulls were in it. There was not a single second of that game where you could say believably that the Chicago Bulls are going to win this game. The Miami Heat came out right away, took it to the Chicago Bulls, beat them like they were an abusive stepfather. So that was my villain origin story. That's what broke me. That game honestly broke me, because that run, I was arguing with people that run was real, and then I looked like a fucking fool. So ever since then, I just can't have any positivity for this franchise whatsoever. I can't do it, guys. I'm sorry. If you're able to watch this stuff in March right now, if you're able to say, you know, look at these triple doubles Josh Giddey is putting up, not keeping in mind the fact that the Chicago Bulls lost by like 20 points last night, and they gave up 157 points in regulation to the Philadelphia 76ers. But if you're able to look at that game and say, Josh Giddey got a triple-double, that's good for development, that's good for him going forward, he's a future all-star. If you're able to do that, more power to you. I can't get there. If you're able to look at Modest Buzelis last night and say, hey man, he got above 20 points, you know, he's going to be a future all-NBA guy, he's so athletic, he blocks shots. If you're able to do that while ignoring the fact that I think he took 15 shots 10 of them were catch and shoot threes. His field goal percentage is below 50%. If you're able to ignore all that, more power to you, man. I'm more concerned about the fact that he's become a largely catch and shoot player, and he doesn't seem to be able to create for himself going left. But if you're able to ignore all that and still say you think he's going to be a top 15 to 25 guy in this NBA someday, more power to you. I just can't get there with that kind of positivity right now. If you're able to look at Noah Essengay, a guy who pre-injury was not in this rotation at all, and there's not a great track record of lottery picks who aren't in the rotation in their rookie year. If you're able to look at him and look at the G League numbers that he put up and say, this guy, bona fide, no doubt, going to be an impact player in the NBA someday. If you're able to look at those G League numbers and take that away from it while ignoring the fact that Mac McClung is putting up like 50-point games every other day in the G League, and that guy's just flat out not an NBA player, more power to you. I can't get there with that level of positivity yet. So I just can't do it, guys. I'm sorry. I don't have any positivity for this fan base right now. Not even for the fan base. My beef isn't with the fan base. My beef is with the franchise. And that would be my appeal to the fan base right now, is stop beefing with each other. Start beefing with the front office, man. Start beefing with the organization, because this organization is just shitting down our throats day after day after day. And some of you guys are just eating it up. I mean, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, put a fucking bullet in my head and just end this shit already. So once again, if you guys are positive about this team, I'm not trying to take that away from you, but don't come at me and tell me I'm not a real fan because I'm not positive about this team. I promise you, I've been watching this Chicago Bulls team longer than you are. I promise you, I probably watch more basketball than you do, and that kind of frames the context for how I think about this team. So if you guys can understand why I'm so negative about it, I hope that this video helps shed some light on it. So shout out to everybody who's watching. Sincerely appreciate it. If you guys are watching on TikTok, do me a gigantic favor. Go follow me on YouTube. It's the same handle, @JTalksHoops YouTube. That's where I host the lives at. I can't get it to stream on the TikTok at the same time. Wish I could, because I would love to have you guys in there. But hop on YouTube, guys. Hop in the chat. We're gonna go live today at 4. I'm gonna talk about, the Bulls' last 10 years. I'm gonna compare it to other teams' last 10 years, and then I'm gonna put a future assets kind of valuation on it too, to just kind of see where the Bulls rank amongst the landscape. So if you guys aren't following on YouTube, do that. That's also where we post all of our Bulls on Tap podcasts. So once again, man, shout out to everybody who does follow. If you guys aren't following yet, hit that follow button.